Hey everyone, welcome to the West Coast Barbell Club Exercise Library. Right now we're going to have a quick look at your comp deadlift, okay? Now your comp deadlift is simply your deadlift variation with which you can lift the most weight that meets powerlifting standards, okay? In simple terms, that means that at the top of each rep, you need to be presenting yourself locked out through knees and hips and stood tall with your shoulders behind the bar, okay? You also need to be able to return the plates to the ground under some degree of control. Okay, now I like to coach conventional deadlift to most when they first start out. There will be a sumo deadlift video that I'll upload at some point later today. Okay, but for now what we're going to quickly look at is just how we set up for a conventional stanced comp deadlift. Okay, I like to coach this in 5 steps, somewhat similar to the starting strength method of coaching the conventional deadlift, okay? And that's gonna look something like this. Okay, so step 1 is our foot placement, okay? When setting up for a conventional deadlift, we wanna place the bar about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, or 2 to 3 centimeters away from our shins, okay? I have relatively long legs, so I'm gonna be on the farther side in this process, okay? That should put the bar pretty much above the laces in your shoes. If you're wearing conventional pair of trainers, I normally actually do my deadlifting barefoot in training. Obviously, you can't deadlift barefoot in powerlifting competition, but you can in strongman if you choose to go down that route. But yeah, for the sake of simplifying things, we're just going to talk about placing the bar over the bar in our laces. Okay, so I'm going to place my feet, bar pretty much directly over the bar in my laces. That's going to put my shins a few centimeters away from the bar. Okay. The next step is taking our grip. Okay, so you have 2 options when it comes to setting your grip. You can either go with a double overhand hook grip, where you loop your thumbs under the bar and clasp them in your first couple of fingers, which is how I choose to deadlift, or you can go with an alternate grip, 1 hand over and 1 hand under, where you don't necessarily need to lock your thumbs in if you don't want to. Okay, so given that I choose to go with a double overhand hook grip, that's what I'm going to demonstrate here. Okay, so step 2 is setting my grip. You'll notice that in doing that, the bar won't move, okay? Nor will my shins reach the bar yet. That comes in step 3, okay? So step 2 is setting my hands, okay? There my hands are placed, okay? I've got the bar in the meat of my palms, okay? Over time you'll develop calluses through this portion of your hand. That's totally fine, to be expected. If you're at all like me, you might want to use lifting straps for doing your volume work on deadlifts. That's totally fine too, okay? But for now we're just going to demonstrate a bare hand comp deadlift, okay? I get my clients normally start out with their hands right on the edge of the knurling, okay? You may find that you benefit from going a little bit wider, depending on how you're built, okay? But for now I'm just going to set up right on the edge of the knurling. Step 2, setting your hands. Step 3 is to push my knees out into the pits of my elbows, but not forward of them. So from that angle there, you shouldn't really be able to see my knees traveling a ton in front of my elbows, okay? That's going to bring my shins to the bar, okay? So step 3, knees into elbows, shins to bar, okay? That's step 3, okay? Step 2 again, hand placement. Step 3, knees to elbows, shins to bar, okay? You notice how I'm relatively flush from knees through the pit of my elbow, okay? So step 3. Step 4 is to take a big breath and squeeze our chest up to try and get our back extended up to the best of our abilities, okay? Some prefer to squeeze up and then take a big breath and brace. I actually choose to take a big breath and brace as I squeeze up, okay? You want to play around with that and see what feels best for you, okay? Doing them simultaneously might be a little bit tricky for some when they're starting out, but it's how I choose to do it. And then as people become a bit more advanced, they probably feel a bit more comfortable in coordinating that. So step 2 again, placing the hands. Step 3, knees to elbows, shins to bar. Step 4, big breath, and I'm squeezing my chest up. A little hard to tell with this hoodie on here, but I'm squeezed into a nice neutral, if slightly extended position through my back. Okay, the final step is simply to think about driving your feet into the ground, pushing the earth away from you, okay, as you drag your bar up your legs, okay? In a well-executed deadlift, okay, you want to feel like you're almost leg pressing the ground away from you off the floor, and that you start hinging as you move up the range of motion, okay? And a well-executed deadlift will always keep the bar in contact with your body, okay? We want to the best of our abilities to keep the bar as close to our center of gravity or center of mass as possible, okay? And that is going to involve dragging the bar up the legs, okay? So if that feels a bit uncomfortable for you, or you're worried about curling your shins open, you're best off wearing a pair of long socks, track pants or leggings, okay, when doing your deadlifts, okay? So we're now going to piece together all 5 steps. So that's foot placement, hand placement, knees to elbows and shins to bar, okay? Taking a big breath and squeezing our chest up, step 4. And then the final step 5, drive the ground away from you, drag the bar up the legs, okay? So let's piece that together, okay? So foot placement, step 1. Hand placement, step 2. Knees to elbows, shins to bar, step 3. Big breath and squeeze the chest up, step 4. Step 5. Driving the ground away from me, standing tall at the top. Lowering the bar under some degree of control. Okay? There's our basics of the comp deadlift from a conventional stance. Like I said, we'll look at sumo stance deadlifts in a video we'll upload hopefully later today. Okay? And all the deadlift videos that you'll see following this one will be based off that foundation. Okay? If you have any questions with that, or with your comp deadlift in your program, okay, feel free to ask and I'll be happy to help. Thank you for watching.